Peace. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Survival 101D. Back here with another informative video dealing with safety, self-defense, and survival. So, as you can see, I have a few things lined up out here on my staircase. All right. And I just wanted to make a quick point. The reason I'm making this video is to dispel some myths, which will hopefully save you a lot of time, a lot of stress, a lot of frustration. Hopefully it'll save your life. Okay, keep you safe. Not just physically, and when I say physically, from getting injured, maimed, harmed, and maybe even killed, but also mentally, emotionally, from going to prison, being brought up on charges, things like that, of course it affects you physically, but the emotional toll it takes on you and your family really can't be measured. It can be devastating. So, you see a bunch of items out here. All right. See the knife, you see the polypropylene self-defense weapons, the dagger thing. This one is called the Koga SD1. It was popularized by a martial artist named Bob Koga. This is essentially a Yawara, a Kubotan if you want to call that. And this is, I'm sorry, that's the SD2. This bigger one is the SD1. Okay. Of course, you see I have my Cold Steel Delta Dart, and I did a little bit of modification on this, to fit myself, which I'll get into shortly why I did that. So this is nothing but a plain, I'm trying not to have this stuff fall over. This is a plain pocket knife, all right? Folder. Yeah, plain folder. This, of course, everybody, this is a flathead screwdriver. These are my keys. My keys I carry with myself every day. And if you look at some of my videos from before, you see I make a lot of videos on, dealing with self-defense keychains, things like that. So you may see my setup of my keys change from time to time. But nonetheless, this is what I'm carrying now. Those keys. Now, the point that I want to make is, I have a lot of videos out there, a lot of people doing knife techniques and sword techniques and real fancy things with bleeds and Kubotans and Yawara sticks and bow staffs, Joe staffs, nunchucks, you name it. Okay. And the crazy thing about it is, these people, a lot of times, I ain't gonna say all, I won't even say most, but a lot of times, those people you see on the internet doing these things, these fancy movements and techniques with these things, these weapons, that's all that they can do with them. Fancy techniques and movements with these weapons, and they don't really understand how they work in real time. Okay? Something I always tell my daughter when we're training is, when it comes to weapons, the weapon is only as good as you make it. And when I say that, meaning how much you practice with it to make it a part of yourself. So any weapon, in any weapon system, I don't care if it's Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Karate, Tang Soo Do, Kyokushin Karate, Filipino martial arts, Japanese martial arts, don't matter. Okay, swords, size, nunchucks, staffs, bladed weapons, guns, it don't matter. All of these came out of the mind of one person or a group of people who actually were accustomed to using said item to defend themselves primarily first, and then at some point these things got popularized and they spread to their culture in particular, then abroad, whether it's worldwide, countywide, statewide, etc. I'm saying that to say, the first person to use a sword, a katana, they mastered that sword, they mastered that katana, they made it a part of themselves, which is why it looked so good and it became so popular, and they were able to teach it to other people. But always remember that that sword or that katana was a part of that person because they mastered it. Same thing with the sai, same thing with the nunchuck, same thing with the kukri. All of these different items came out of the mind of one person or a small group of people who made it a part of themselves, popularized it, and then it spread. The overall point that I'm trying to make is you have to find a weapon or weapons that fit you. So, again, I've seen people make videos about knives and blades and look real fancy, and even been in dojos and some of the things look fancy, nice. Moving a karambit around, swinging it around, flipping it. You know, the butterfly knives, they flipping them around. But then they try to apply that same thing to maybe a butcher knife, and they may lose or get killed. You understand what I'm trying to say? They may pick up that butcher knife and think they can do it the same way as a butterfly knife because they just been practicing flipping a butterfly knife, you know, because it made them feel good and look good. They maybe somebody told them that that's the perfect weapon. Same thing with nunchucks, same thing with sai, same thing with the katana or the bow or the jo. Yet the person who's swinging that bow or jo never thought about, maybe I should train with this push broom that I got in my house every day. And now an assailant comes to their home and they got the push broom, they pick the push broom up and they get pummeled to death because they never transition from using that bow and the balance of that bow or that jo to the same balance of the push broom. The balance was off when they picked the push broom up because they weren't used to it, because they were used to just flash and dash and show. Each weapon you see here, including this coffee mug, yes, including this coffee mug, I practice with. Speaking of coffee, I'm going to finish this video so my coffee don't get cold. But again, each thing that you see up here, pardon me, I practice with daily as a part of my person. I don't go off of what TV tell me. I don't even go off of too much what someone in the dojo tells me. I take it, I internalize it, and I use the best that fits my personal self. Right now, I got a leg injury, but I guarantee you, some Joe Blow person who's just swinging a butterfly knife come up and try to do something to me with my leg injury, I'll probably maim them to death or even kill them with one of these items you see here, including this coffee mug. Yep, because I practice with it. I practice. All the things you see here, I've had years of practice with. Okay? Practicing with this for about 6 years. About 6 years. About 5 years. About 25 years. And when I say 25 years, yep, this knife in particular. I've had this knife, this version of a knife, maybe not this exact same knife, but the look of this knife. I've had this particular knife in my hand 12 years, and I had one exactly like this maybe about 7 years before that, and I had a replica maybe 7 years before that. So about 25 years practicing with this knife, about 25 years practicing with a screwdriver, and particularly the flathead screwdriver, because this is what I like. That's for me. All right. And I've been practicing with Kasari Fundos and things like that for about 15 years. And even the keys, the key version, I've been practicing with the key version is Bone Tactical for the last 4 years. Okay. Point that I'm trying to make is these weapons are a part of me. I've been practicing with this coffee mug for about 30 years. Okay. What's the sweet spot to hit somebody on the side of the head with it? All right. If I had to hold this handle and hit them on the back of their head, if it break, how to use this broken handle, you name it. I'm saying all that to say, don't be fooled and make yourself a fool by thinking what you see on TV or what you see in movies and videos is for you. Get you a weapon. I don't care what it is, and don't let nobody tell you that's not a weapon. Get you something that fits you, and work with it, and then you make you make that become the best version of you. That weapon becomes a part of you, and it'll give you a 95% chance of surviving any and everything. Okay, learn the functionality of those weapons. Learn how they work. Learn the pros. Learn the cons. Learn how to turn the cons into pros. Point that I'm trying to make is practice with something for you. Just because you see Bruce Lee swirling the nunchucks around, that's nice. I know how to use nunchucks, but because I know I can't carry them without getting locked up, or somebody seeing me walking with some nunchucks and blowing my brains out, I learned how to use this. I could throw on a Dickie suit, put a tape measure in my pocket in this, and now this is legally carried. And I can really go to work with this because I've been practicing with this for years. So somebody else who may have a big butcher's knife or a blade, but they really don't know the functionality of a butcher knife. Okay, they don't know the difference between a butcher knife and a paring knife, a bread knife and a steak knife. They just think knives are knives, and then got a high percentage of a chance where I can basically defend myself well, not get hurt, and the most important part, not go to jail. You got to know what's what for what. I carry this every day, everywhere I go. My keys. Okay, these are my house keys. And I know how to use this for me. I know how to use these for me, okay? I know how to use these for me. But I practice with it. So again, if an assailant came up on me, it looked like keys. But because I practice with it and I practice hard with it, I can pretty much maim them. I can do a lot of things. I can bludgeon them. I can hurt them real bad. And most importantly, I can protect myself and not get locked up. I can use this. I can't carry it, obviously, because it's a dagger. But even still, if I had to use it, and again, I made modifications to fit me. It fits my hand. I can't say it fits my daughter's hand. I can't say if it fits my wife's hand. It fits my hand. I teach them how to make things that fit their hands and to use for them. I can use this for me. Okay? Point that I'm trying to make, everything you get, make it, personalize it for yourself. I jog with this. I'm running up the street jogging. All right, I jog with this. I can make it effective for myself because I practice with it. This one is a little bit more threatening than this one. All right, so I do a lot of jogging and walking, and I use this with my hands in a walking motion. I have that in this hand. Okay, and of course, as you see this is something I've been carrying with myself for the last 4 years, and I practice with it. And I'm going to show you how it works. It's really a knife. Okay, I take the safety off, and if you look, you can see that is a knife. I got to do a little bit of cleaning up on this, how long I had this. Okay, now you may say that's not effective. Maybe not to you. But for me, this paracord knife, this is my handle. It's very effective for me because I practice with it. Okay, and I guarantee you I hurt you real bad with it. Not just you, but I'll say that I can protect myself. Okay, I practice with it. I know what it does. I practice on flesh. And when I say flesh, not a human flesh, not no person, not even a live animal. All right, I've spent money, $16, $17 to buy the Boar's Head lunch meat, Carolina lunch meat. I hung it up and I just went to work with a few slices on it. But I've been doing that for years. Overall point that I'm trying to make is find your weapon that fits you. I don't care if it's a butter knife. I don't care if it's a damn spoon. Don't let nobody say that ain't no real. How they know when you know how to use it to the best of your ability and make it effective. because you have been practicing with it. All right, so that's my time. I don't want to hold nobody up. But again, get something for you. Get something for you. Make it fit you. Practice, practice, practice. Don't let nobody put you in a box saying if it ain't a Filipino knife, then it ain't a good knife. If it's not a blade from Japan, it's not good. If it's not 450 steel, then it's not an effective steel. If you know how to use it and you have been practicing with it, then it's effective for you. All right, check your local laws. Master those, learn those. All right, learn what does what. All right, and you'll be good. But no more for myself. Practice, practice, practice. Get you something that fits you and make it work. Peace.